Rosco here, Amazing EV, and I was out and about the other night at the launch of another new Chinese EV brand, Deepal. Fantastic night out, but I ran into a mate of mine, Chris, fellow YouTuber at Car Normus, and check him out. And we got chatting, and he thought it was about time he sold his BYD Atto 3. He'd had it for a couple of years now. Was starting to look around at different options, whether he buys new, there's so many new cars on the market these days, or whether he looks at something used in the EV range. A lot better value for something maybe in the European style, BMW or something like that. So we thought, let's sit down one night, have a chat, and see what is available in the used EV market. And well, this is how it went.
I've got a very fancy-looking gentleman on the show tonight. It's Rosco from Amazing EV. How you going tonight,
Chris?
Rosco?
Good, Chris. Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah, great. The reason why I've got Rosco on for is because I've had my car now 2 years, Rosco. Would you believe that? An EV.
Yeah, it's gone quickly, I know. The Atto 3, wasn't it? Yeah.
So I'm actually looking at a change. So don't really know where to go yet. So, but I kind of do miss the European mark cars, yeah. Rosco. I'm feeling a bit fancy again. So,
what do you want to change? Or why are you thinking about changing already, Chris?
Oh, look, I'm happy with the car and everything like that. But yeah, you know, it's in the EV world, 2 years is a long time to have the same car. So I thought, I might change to something different. So I thought, well, you're the man to talk to. So yeah, I don't want to spend. Preferably, I don't want to buy a new one because they're so damn expensive. But compared to the Chinese stuff that's coming out, but yeah. So I thought I'd to get you on the show and you could tell us a bit about your little business. So what have you got?
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, thanks. Much appreciated. We started a business called AmazingEV.com.au, a dedicated used EV marketplace, and we just saw a gap in the market for a dedicated used EV marketplace where used EV buyers and sellers could go and get information about EVs, learn more about EVs, and just sell EVs only, with no hybrids, no other petrol cars, just EVs only. And we decided to do that because we really just wanted to cater for the special needs of EV buyers and sellers. And there's plenty of other places you can certainly go to have a look, but none of them are dedicated to actually providing information or the range on just EVs that we thought both buyers and sellers could really needed, right? So especially in the case of sellers, we really have only private sellers. We found that they're probably the most fastidious owners of EVs. The early adopters have really been the guys that have really looked after their EVs. So the cars that we've got are just from private sellers, and they've looked after them so well. We've got cars that have done 10, 20, 30,000 Ks now that are just in almost perfect condition. So the site really has got a great selection there, and we're building quickly as the market grows. And I don't know if you know that the used car market is over 2 million cars a year in Australia. It's almost double the new car market, right? So it's growing, but used EVs are only less than 1% at the moment. So we're talking 15,000, 16,000 cars a year. So you can see with new EVs at around 7 or 8% of the market, 100,000 cars a year, a bit less at the moment, but growing still. We're going to have a huge selection of used EVs coming. So yeah, you've come to the right place. So anyone can go to the website, www.amazingev.com.au. Have a look there. We've done some blogs on all sorts of bits and pieces, like the owner of the first Tesla in Australia over 15 years ago, and but more recent work on busting myths as well. We're still getting all those myths from both new and used buyers and people interested in EVs about all the rubbish that goes on. So we're spending a lot of time talking to people, answering those sorts of questions as well. So you can see all that on the site, but let's go a bit closer now. So you talked about maybe something different, maybe something a bit more European.
Yeah.
What did you have in mind in that range? And so there's plenty of new EVs available at the moment, but were you thinking about anything particular on the Europeanish side of the EVs?
I'm not sure what I'm really interested in, but the BM catches my attention. What can you tell me about that one? Let's see if I can get over
sure.
To this one looks good.
Yeah. Look, this is a case where I think BMW have, and surprisingly enough, maybe to me at least, BMW are selling 25% EVs at the moment. It's way higher than the level of other manufacturers, and much higher than the actual national average of new cars as well, at around 7. So they're making big inroads into EVs, and probably a little bit, well, not as many people would know that, I don't think. But this particular one, the Ex1 is a motorsport version, and I think the appeal of something like this at around 73 is this looks more like a conventional BMW and not like a, sort of spacey or futuristic EV, really. And I think that's the big appeal with a lot of the BMW range. Alcantara interior. This dashboard's pretty standard looking, so you get all the features and all the tricks of BMW. At the same time, it's a really BMW-esque SUV without too many fancy bits, and so it gives you that BMW feeling. This has got the motorsport stuff with 20-inch wheels and all sorts of tricks and treats that you expect. It's a premium grey paintwork, motorsport, all the bits and pieces. And I think the key part at 72 grand, what they're asking now for something almost a year, not quite a year old, at 11,000 Ks, is I priced this one up on the configurator on the BMW guide, and it was over 100 Ks. So 100K. So I mean, as a buyer, you're in a great position to take advantage of some of the depreciation, but it's their loss, but it'll certainly be your gain at around $70,000. So is that the sort of thing that you might have been looking at coming out of a BMW?
Look, I haven't owned a BMW before, and I'd love to have one. So I just got to talk to my finance manager. It's not much more than a Tesla, so yeah.
The interesting thing about that one is that it's about Tesla Model Y money as well. Brand new for a car that's done 11,000 Ks, barely run in, much better spec, single motor. I don't have details about battery or power ratings, but it's up there, and suffice to say that they go. I don't worry too much about the power. The range is quoted about a bit over 400. You can expect something over 400 day to day, but without getting into the detail specifically of the range and the power and those sorts of things, you're getting a hell of a nice BMW for that price. And again, it's about the same price and size as a Tesla Model Y. So that is a great used EV as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
And did you do the photographs of that, or was that some looks
that one I didn't? Yeah, that one I didn't. I didn't take. Part of what we do, and just part of what we that one I didn't do. Some of the others we'll have a look at. I did do. Yeah, part of what we do for a little bit extra, and just a bit more detail on AmazingEV. We charge a standard $99 listing fee. We don't charge a commission on sale. So it's just the listing fee that we charge to list the car on the site if you're looking to sell. And for a little bit extra, we will do a bit more work in terms of promotion on social media and YouTube promotion as well. And for that, we'll often, if we can, come out and take some extra photos and get a little bit of video as well to promote the car. A bit like high-end real estate, right? Because we think better photos and better videos certainly have a better result if you take some time to really capture the essence and the quality of a car, rather than just doing it on your phone and in the backyard in the driveway. Sure, there's a lot of cars out there, and you'll find that some of the better cars listed out there have got better photos and better video.
Yeah, of course, you got to, if you want to sell for a top money, you got to have top presentation, top photographs. So we
found that's been one of the key areas that I've focused on as well in starting the business and working with sellers, is to try and get some as good images as they can, and if we can get some video as well, so we can get that out there amongst social media, just get the word out that there's used EVs for sale, and that there's some quality cars and quality cars like that one.
So if I didn't want to spend 70,000, Rosco, you've got something cheaper for me? Let's have a look. What else we got? Oh, here's another nice car.
And size-wise, look, Atto 3, I think this looks a bit smaller than the Atto 3, but this is about the size of a VW Tiguan, right? Which is sort of Atto 3 size as well, comparatively, for a petrol car to the BYD Atto 3 it looks a bit shorter, but it's actually quite a larger car, a bit over 4 meters. So, and this one's almost brand new as well. This one was purchased in, I think, March, brand new 2024, this guy's only done 5,000 Ks. And
Mm.
same reason you ask, well, why sell a car when he just bought it? And he was very keen on buying it and pre-ordered it. This has got the dual engine, dual motors. So it's just got power, ridiculous amounts of power, and it goes incredibly fast. But here, Volvo have really excelled, I think, in Scandinavian design with their Californian styling studio as well. Chinese builders we know, but you'll see some of the photos on screen that the interior is really that Scandinavian feel, similar to Polestar. They've got the Android Auto base as the navigation and control system, really nice and easy to use, and really simplistic inside, and probably a step forward in design towards maybe more of a contemporary EV might look like. And this is a really nice car. I mean, again, almost brand new. And again, a $10,000 discount on buying this one from taking it off the lot to what he's hoping for now. So almost, and again, almost a brand new car. I think the owner found that he didn't quite suit his family. He had 3 kids and just didn't quite fit him for size. I think he thought it was going to be bigger than it was. So that it didn't work out for him. But I think,
I don't have any kids, so I'm good to go. I don't have any kids, so I'm good to go.
I think, like yourself, the interesting thing is that people have got similar sorts of reasons to sell cars as they did in the past. I mean, we both know that an EV is going to last 10 years in terms of the battery. I think those myths are gone now about the battery only lasting 2 or 3 years. The newer batteries are going to last 7 or 8. They'll outlive the car. And so the question comes back to, why do people sell used EVs, right? Why are they selling their new EVs? And similar reasons: change of circumstances, change of job, financial circumstances, new tech coming around all the time. So we're finding maybe similar reasons, but also with EVs in particular, the newest, latest is proving to be a bit more like the audio-visual world with televisions and phones, where people, I think, are going to want the latest and greatest a bit quicker than they were before. How that's going to affect prices, we just don't know at this stage. And sure, some of the depreciation has been pretty, tough and harder, but the whole used car market, the elephant in the room is the whole used car market, particularly at the luxury end, is down enormously this year in particular, after the real spikes in COVID. So there's some tough decisions that people are having to make about selling used EVs, but there's some even tougher results on some of the other traditional petrol cars as well. So it is a buyer's market at the moment. So you're in a good place at the moment, Chris. So
well, that's the thing about these prices. Although they seem high, there's possibly, obviously, there's a bit of negotiation in there. You think in most cases. So so it's more of a case of, you're the only one who's after the car, then you can probably get a bit of a good discount.
Everybody, look, like all used cars, everybody's in a position where if they're a keen seller, then they're going to accept something, and they're putting an offer price up there, which is probably a little bit higher than what they're expecting. With most used cars, the same traditional rules of the used car market haven't changed in terms of pricing, and particularly those two that we looked at. Both those manufacturers have got policies of holding their new car pricing a little bit more strongly than some of the others as well. So, without mentioning names, is a bit more locked in value per se, and then there are perhaps with some other brands as well, which is a couple of reasons why I mentioned these ones to you. Is that they're probably the inherent value is going to hold a little bit stronger than some of the others, where there's been a lot more pricing volatility. So we acknowledge that pricing volatility as well. And it's tough, and we empathise as Tesla owners that they're jumping around with the prices, and it's affected used car prices. But on these ones in particular, and which again leads us to the Volvo, which leads us to the Polestar, which is which again is only a year old now, and 25,000 odd Ks. This was the first EV that I ever drove. I don't know what was the first one you drove.
Oh, it was the car I bought, the Atto 3.
That was back in the That was back in the day when there was only a choice of three, right? There was the Tesla,
Yeah,
the Model 3,
yeah,
the BYD Atto 3, and the Polestar 2. You could only buy
yeah.
three
That's right. There
EVs.
wasn't many out there. There was only one
And
in my
now
price.
what are we up to now? Now they're all complaining that there's too much competition.
Yeah,
There's over 100 models available now within 2 years.
yeah,
Now they're complaining there's too much competition, but we're looking
yeah,
forward to seeing a lot of these coming on the second-hand market. But this was the first one I drove and really liked it. Coming from a Volkswagen, it really reminded me of a Volkswagen Audi type feel inside. It's really nice, really tight, bit more of a traditional, again, European style feel to it. Even though Polestars, most people know, was the performance arm of Volvo, split
yeah,
out and became another business of Chinese Geely or Geely, however you pronounce it.
yeah.
But stood alone from Volvo, went their own direction, and was seeking that premium market. And so this one, again, absolutely perfect. A couple of different packs there, a plus pack and a pilot pack, which means sunroof and this and that and all sorts of things that you couldn't imagine dashboard camis had installed. This is a single motor one, but still plenty of power and plenty of range on this one as well. And again, absolutely brand new. And he's 25,000 after a bit over a year
Yeah.
less than what he paid drive away. So that at 52, remarkable value compared to what he paid for it for a car like this. So love this car. I did take some photo of this one, and Jupiter's the color, and we took that out in Kellyville, which I believe is, if we don't disclose it too much, is not too far away from you, so it might be convenient for a test drive. So
Yeah, right. But even so I've got these sort of cars to compare to, and then I'm going to the EV show coming up soon, Ross.
you're going to see a whole lot of new ones, and we're also going to be exhibiting there as well as Amazing EV. And we'll be talking to people there who have got any interest in buying or selling a used EV, about how to list it for sale and prepare it for sale. Or if they're looking for a used EV, we're certainly happy to also help people find a used EV. If we haven't got it listed there, we'll go out and make sure that we can find something for you. And there's a whole lot of quality checks that are a little bit different with used EVs. Battery health is something that we're working closely with a couple of providers on to check as well, or through the manufacturer to double check. So there's a couple of bits and pieces that you can double check, but that's in Sydney if you're there at the ICC, the International Convention Centre, from the 8th to the 10th of November, which is only a week away, but well, by the time this goes up, it'll be less. But if you're looking for some tickets, we might have some spare ones available. And in the link down below, I'll leave my email address. We're also on YouTube at Amazing EV, and you can check it out there. But in Chris's link down the bottom, I'll leave my email address. If you email me and you're in Sydney on the 8th to the 10th of November, there might be some spare tickets available for the Sydney International EV Auto Show. So there'll be all sorts of new brands there as well. Xpeng, a lot of the new Chinese brands, Smart, plus BMW, Toyota as well. And so you're going to see a lot of the brand new Chinese brands that are just coming out, and we can't wait to see those hit the used EV market as well. So don't miss that one, Chris.
Yeah, as I told you, I've got visitors coming from overseas that morning. I got to pick them up from the plane, and I got to show them the International Convention Centre.
That'd be interesting not to see what they think compared to their own, wherever they're coming from. If it's overseas, to see what how that compares, because I think BYD will be there, Xpeng will be there, a little bit Deepal will be there. So all these names that we haven't heard of before, and I can't wait to see some of them as well, because I think again, use the phone and TV in comparison. Sometimes some brands that we never saw 10 years ago are now predominant in the Australian market, and I think we're going to see similar sorts of changes. Certainly, there's going to be a hell of a lot more competition. I think that's a great thing for used and new EV buyers. That's for sure. So,
I'm all about more EVs on the road. So whatever we can do to even for me, I think, oh, if I sold my car, that'd be one more EV on the road. So I'm thinking, oh, that's a good thing.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not something we promote strongly, but yeah, that we were conscious of creating an environment where to recycle an EV is through buying used is another step towards just having one less new car as well. So
Yeah.
just a small bit, and without trying to save the planet completely.
Yeah.
These cars are so good, getting second, third, fourth life out of them. They will go on. I think they'll outlast. I think the battery will outlast the car in many cases. And
Yeah.
talk about reliability. There's far less moving parts, as we know. So
I think
few things going wrong.
yeah.
Mm.
I think those engines shake those poor old ICE cars to bits. I mean, I've noticed my car still feels like brand new, but I think those ICE engines, the amount of vibrations in that, not good for cars.
I know. I was a big fan, but there's so many complicated moving parts now. It just, I know. And I think from what we saw, something like the average age of a petrol car in Australia is about 11 and a half years, which sort of everybody's got an exception to that rule. And you can, go to town in the comments below about your 20 or 30-year-old Mercedes. But usually for people that once it gets to that stage where you've got to replace the clutch or the diff or something, and it's more than the value of the car, it's just not worth it, and they just seem to just disappear. And then on the road, all you seem to see is around Sydney, at least, is new cars. So it's one of those things that I think we can see EVs lasting that long, at least, for sure. So
that's one of the things that made me look at getting a new car. I was spending $2 or $3 grand at my friendly mechanic every year. He was loving me, but now he hates me because I don't see him anymore.
I know. And I've got a Tesla. I haven't even taken it in for its first service yet, and there's been not a thing go wrong with it. So, I mean, Teslas are an exception. Other EVs, of course, have got service programs and service plans. Some of them are included. The BMW's got full 5-year servicing included, so they have got a more extensive servicing program. But the BMW you're looking at it's all included. I think the Polestar is also, from recollection, the owner told me that was fully included as well through the Volvo network. And I imagine Volvo is probably the same, without quoting you off the cuff. But all three of these cars have had servicing included as part of the new car warranty as well. So,
well, you've definitely stemmed my interest into BM. Rosco, so I'm definitely going to seek. I'm going to go and have a look at one of these. Hopefully, there's one of those at the EV show I can check out. But
we'll have a couple. We'll have a couple there to tease you and tempt you. That's for sure. So,
no worries. All right. Well, I hope everybody's enjoyed our little interview tonight with Rosco. And if you haven't heard of AmazingEV, there's an opportunity. I think a lot of people that are going to buy secondhand EVs are probably people that have already purchased one, and they know that this is a good thing. So I think some buyers who've never bought an EV before might be a bit afraid to buy a secondhand one, but I'm certainly not. So if there's something good out there that interests me, I'll be onto it. All right, Rosco, we'll end this one now. So I'll see you at the EV show.